Interesting. So LeBron and Kevin Durant picked the All-Star teams last night. Chris Broussard and I did it. They look, and Broussard's ended up looking like an Eastern Conference All-Star team, and mine ended up looking like a Western Conference All-Star team. But so what happened is Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell were the last two guys to get picked, right? And so Utah, it felt like, man, LeBron and KD are crushing Utah, and LeBron joked about it.
You guys got to understand, just like in video games growing up, we never played with Utah. Even as great as Karl Malone and John Stockton was, we would have never picked those guys in video games. Never.
It's actually kind of funny. Utah's interesting. They're 27-9, one of the best home court advantages in the league, #1 NBA record. They have 2 All-Stars, and they're terrific against top teams. They're 15-7. And yet nobody gives them a shot to win the title. I watch a lot of Utah games because I go to Utah a lot to ski, and they're always on. It's interesting. Regular seasons in the NBA are a treadmill, and postseasons are an obstacle course because you play the same team over and over and over and over again. And let's be honest, the last 9 finals MVPs are LeBron and the guy that guarded him, and then Kawhi Leonard. That's kind of what the MVP is. And Utah has a LeBron problem. They do not have anybody on the wing to defend him. So they're not beating LeBron James 4 times in 2 weeks. So they are the classic built for the regular season, not to win a championship. By the way, it's not slander. I'll give you another. Baltimore Ravens are starting to get that reputation. They don't play the same football playing from behind. But in the playoffs, you play the best teams, you're often playing from behind. You have to overcome that. Derrick Rose's Bulls, great energy, very explosive. But if you played them over and over and over, they weren't a great shooting team, and they would unravel. The Milwaukee Bucks, great regular season team. But in the playoffs, it's situational basketball. You got to be good in the last 2.5, 3 minutes. And their best player, Giannis, is kind of a liability shooting it at the free throw line in the last 3 minutes. So there are these teams in sports. The Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash, they couldn't really defend the interior. But when they waltz into town, you don't get a ton of practice time or game film. They bring this blizzard of offense, and you can't keep up. And Utah's got a bunch of depth and a bunch of three-point shooters, and they walk into town. And if you don't, in a condensed NBA schedule, they're hard to prepare for. Same coach, same players, multiple years. They know their stuff. But if you got to play them 7 times or 6 times in 2 weeks, they've got certain holes. And that hole is they're not great at defending a wing, a Kawhi, a LeBron James. They could struggle with that. But they're a really good basketball team. And I just kind of laughed at LeBron's reasoning. I would have never in a million years guessed that was the reasoning, but I thought it was funny. His name is Neil deGrasse